Hello, I am Abby Martinez, and I am going to be doing a presentation on how unplanned pregnancy impacts women, couples, and new parents. This will be a general overview of why unplanned pregnancies are so influential on a person's life and how it can put someone in a crisis situation. People who are in crisis over this situation are typically young unmarried women, unmarried couples, and new parents. I have an outline here on the side that will help as we go through these topics to kind of break down the main points in the learning objectives that we're going to be covering today. So first is abortion. So many women choose the path of abortion due to various risks and life changes, and this decision can be deeply personal and usually is deeply personal. Some of the reasons that women choose abortion are financial circumstances, timing, partner-related reasons, health concerns and fetal abnormalities, educational work, and dependents that they already have at home. A study shows that approximately 40% of people seeking abortions mention financial reasons, and some individuals express general financial concerns, while others, they just can't afford to have a child. And 4% say that they have a lack of employment, and 0.6 terminate pregnancies due to this fact, and the fact that they don't even have insurance or any government assistance. 36% of studies and participants consider timing-related factors, that some just feel emotionally or financially unprepared for parenthood, and while others believe they are also too old to have a child. Nearly 31% of respondents mention that partner-related factors also include why they would have an abortion, because they have unstable relationships with these partners, and the partner is usually unsupportive or can be unsupportive, giving the woman a lot of anxiety, fear, and uncertainty about having a future with a child. Those statistics come from Stacy D. in the article, Why Do People Have Abortions? The emotional toll of an unplanned pregnancy can be overwhelming, and it is really crucial that we empower young women with the resources and the information that can help them navigate this challenging phase in their life. Having a support system around you can make the world's difference in if you choose to have an abortion or if you choose not to have an abortion. If a woman or a young couple feels that they have a support system to help them through this phase in their life, it can drastically change their mental and emotional well-being on the situation as well. Pregnancy. So I had just learned while putting together this presentation about a thing called crisis pregnancies. And what's really interesting about pregnancies that are called crisis pregnancies is that they are typically women who would have abandonment from the birth father or have a really hard time carrying the baby full term. So they have a lot of medical issues that could occur during pregnancy, which causes these women to be in crisis because they're either deserted or they cannot fully take on the responsibility of carrying a child due to their body's lack of performance. Some people in crisis pregnancies may consider an abortion, but they typically encounter what we would call CPCs, which is pregnancy crisis centers, which are often faith-based, which is unfortunate, that aim to limit their access to abortion care and birth control options. This is why I said unfortunate, because instead of informing them with resources and being encouraging and a support system for these women, they typically just only advocate for don't abort your baby and do everything in their power to convince a woman to not abort their child. This is, I understand that this is something that people feel very strongly about, but usually these CPCs are not licensed by the government and present as healthcare clinics when they are not. And it's really unfortunate for women who find themselves in a CPC because they feel pressured by these people just to take one path with their pregnancy care instead of giving them a lot of options and being able to decide, do I have the insurance I need to carry this pregnancy? Do I have the financial needs I need? Do I have the support I need? Do I have the medical attention I need? And can my body do this performance of pregnancy for the full term of 9 months? Or is it something that I can't do and it would be better to abort? They don't give these women these options, and it is unfortunate. But unmarried pregnant women often lack a strong support system. They are isolated and lonely because of usually deserted parents or deserted partners who have left them deserted. And they are in emotional distress. The mental health and well-being of a pregnant woman can also affect the unborn child and how it develops through the 9 months of pregnancy. So it's really important that we do our best to give these women the best support system possible. And teen pregnancies are also usually pregnancy crises. As we had just mentioned, mental health and emotional well-being is extremely important for women who are pregnant, and either young women, older women who maybe think that they can't have a child because of their age. They all deal with different types of emotional distress, which can cause their emotional and mental health to fail or to become kind of frazzled and all over the place. And hormones are raging at this time of pregnancy, so they can be emotionally all over the place, which doesn't help regain their logical state of being to make decisions with logic and thought before just jumping into something. And it can take a real toll on their body and the baby. So it's important that we as people support these women and do the best we can to give them the best options. So how do newborns impact new parents? And how do parents impact newborns? Well, it's really interesting because the brain develops in infants as well as their social and emotional and cognitive development. And as it's all developing within their first 5 years of life, depending on loving, bonding, and attachment, they may not develop these things correctly. There we go. That's the word I was looking for, correctly. Depending on loving and bonding and having attachments with relationships to their primary caregiver, usually a parent, they're able to develop the way that they are supposed to. But if they don't have these things in their household, they usually develop abnormalities and mental disorders and different things like that that can cause lifelong struggles for them in their life. Parents undergo emotional changes, physical, practical adjustments, relationship changes, and identity shifts when they have a child. And when you become a parent, your brain undergoes significant changes. Becoming a parent reshapes your sense of self, and you now carry a role of a caregiver, and you are a protector and a nurturer, and your priorities shift as you focus on your child's well-being more than your own and your partner's. 67% of couples become very unhappy with each other during the first 3 years of the baby's life, and only 33% remain content. And that's rather sad. Though both parents work much harder when they have a baby, a lot of times they can feel unappreciated by each other and their support system, and they have a lot of mental health and emotional distress, causing them to be in crisis, typically resulting in separation or divorce, unfortunately. So how can we assist new parents in this transformation to parenthood and make it not so hard? Supporting new parents during this transformative phase is incredibly important because of what I've said already. And how we can help would be through meals, household chores, babysitting, support networks, financial advice, parenting resources, encouraging self-care, and creating memories that help them remember and cherish the moments of parenthood and the joy that it is when it seems oh so hard. Remember that you are an essential part of their support system. You're their village, and it takes a village to run a family. And so, whether big or small, make sure that your parents or that the parents in your life and the journey that they're on, you could maybe make it smoother and make sure that you try to do that. Couples with newborns don't feel they are in a crisis when they have a support system around them. And every parent's experience is unique, and seeking support, whether from family, friends, or professionals, can make this transition much smoother. So they cherish, enjoy the baby they have, and acknowledge the challenge, but they know they're on an incredible journey, and it's much more satisfying for them when they have someone reminding them how beautiful it truly is. So, what's God's plan for children? Well, each child is made in the image of God from birth. And even before birth, God has a purpose and plan for your child. God loves celebrating children, and they are not seen as an inconvenience, but as a gift. And so God loves children. God loves for families to have multiple children, as it says in Genesis 1, to go and be fruitful and multiply. And he loves the fact that parents have a loving and nurturing home for their child and teach them about him in their lives. But if you have undergone an abortion, God's love and forgiveness is extremely important, and he is there for you. He is suffering with you. He is taking away your shame and guilt, and he is telling you he loves you, he forgives you, and you can forgive yourself. He brings you freedom, and in the forgiveness he gives you, it's just another remembrance of his marvel of grace towards us. You don't need to carry the permanent burden of guilt anymore. Seeking his forgiveness and finding a supportive community like a church to allow God's healing to love and transform your pain into purpose is exactly what you need, so you can move forward in life knowing that God loves you, God loves the child, and the child is in heaven with him, and you are free from that burden of sin that you carry. Sorry, that was my dog yawning. But God works in mysterious ways, and in his ways, he often turns what is the unexpected or unplanned into something truly beautiful. For every unplanned crisis in life, God brings purpose and a unique melody in the grand design with his fingerprints upon each brow of every child. A reminder that joy from birth, even from the unplanned, can surprise you with twists to remember that the author of the beginnings, who turns unplanned pregnancies into symphonies of love, is here with you. Just remember his joy, love, and grace is with you and for you, and you may find comfort in the unexpected. Knowing that God's love weaves joy even in the unplanned of moments in life is truly peaceful for me, and I'm hoping for you too. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you learned something new. And I hope that now we will all go out and be better support systems for women in the future. Thank you so much.